Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships and Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are going to have a match in the Lightning. Now before you click off the video already, I just want to say thank you. I love you guys. As you know, there's a thing going on. I'm not going to keep mentioning it, but just so you know that things are getting a little bit more serious here in Ohio, and just as a heads up, I may end up having to spend more time with you guys. Sounds like a terrible idea, right? But in all seriousness, with all of the stuff that's going around, I work in a factory around a lot of other people. It's a non-essential factory, so there is a chance in the near future that my factory could be shut down temporarily while all this stuff is going on. No idea when or how long or anything like that. Just know that if that happens, that I will do my absolute best to make sure that I keep my avenues open to be able to upload to you guys. Mainly because you guys are my outlet, but you guys also help me make some extra money in my hobby. So that is going to kind of be my supplement for making sure that I can get through this if and when they end up closing our factory for the time being. Anyway, we're in the Lightning, and it's not all going to be about me this time, guys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot. Now, we're on Trident, which you guys have heard me a million times on Trident. Usually, things don't go to plan. Especially spawning on this side, we are usually outnumbered. But if you read the enemy team, and we get the pleasure of doing this as a destroyer, because honestly, as a destroyer, unless these guys push hard on me, they're not going to spot me. And so I get a real good read of what the team is doing and how I can affect them the easiest way possible. And so, first things first, I'm going to sail into the cap here and start capping, because giving our team the edge is huge. Now, there are 3 enemy destroyers, and the likelihood that I run into one of them very soon is pretty real. So what I did was I put myself as far away from where I think the enemy destroyer would be, just in case I get that nice little detection without being detected. You guys know that I run a sneaky build on this thing to try to get that detection down to right around 5 kilometers. So being able to sneak into the cap is preferable. And so a lot of times you catch the other destroyers off guard, and you'll see I'm not sitting still because I know that I'm in a position where it's potentially a problem, and so we don't want to catch torpedoes. And so we start looking for avenues of attack. Now that we've almost got this capped, I don't want to go around the island. There's no destroyer here. They would have been in the cap by now. Which means I have free reign to absolutely wreck everyone on the enemy team. And you can see by the way they're deciding to move that they know this. And so let's get out here and do what we do. Now, first of all, if you're an enemy destroyer in this particular match, what are you doing? You have given up the center cap and the outer caps, and you have done absolutely nothing to stop any of them. What are you doing? A destroyer's number 1 job is to spot. Their number 2 job is to try to capture points in a domination match. You have to capture, because you're the only one that can get to a capture point without being absolutely torn apart. Cruisers can't do it. Battleships can't do it. You have to make sure that if you're in a destroyer and you're on a domination, that your number 2 focus is to get out there and try to get some points for your team. Now, because we've managed to secure this, and notice I'm keeping an eye on where all the destroyers are now that they are spotted, and this is just, this is the best scenario for me I could ever ask for in a million years. And I'm constantly looking around at the different battleships first to see who is going to be the first one to die. And the Jean Bart that's closest to the left of me needs to die soon, because if I get caught out here, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So he's the one most likely to catch me. I need to make sure that he disappears in the near future. However, he's doing a really good job of assuming that I'm out here ready to torp the crap out of him. It's almost like he knows. So, as you can see me switching between targets, I'm just trying to figure out who is gonna get the presents. And at the end of the day, so far I'm not in a position to do anything. But I'm also not dead. I'm spotting the enemy this entire time. And that cannot be understated. Keeping the enemy lit up like this gives your team such an advantage. Now, my team isn't taking advantage of this because they're all dead. We've already lost 3 people. We're losing this match. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Spartan, you're a lot of that problem. You haven't actually done anything other than cap a base. Yeah, well, us having all 3 caps is the only reason we're in this match right now. And now we're in the lead because we sunk our first ship. Now, the Vanguard had started to change position, so I went ahead, threw the torps out ahead of him, hoping that he would run into them. That was the goal. Now, I've got a long time before I can get reloaded. But this Jean Bart is going to have no choice eventually. He is going to have to go towards the direction his team is. He can't run away forever. There's an edge of a map he's got to deal with, and you can see he's already making his turn. He's already committed to the fact that he needs to go over and start helping his team. And with this many battleships in such a small area, it's just a matter of time before you start hitting things with torpedoes, right? You can't possibly miss everybody all the time. Now, luckily for them, it looks like the Vanguard is going to get out of the way of that salvo of torpedoes for the most part. But here's the other thing that I'm doing. Not only am I keeping the enemy team lit up right now, but I am also scaring the hell out of all of these battleships. They have no choice but to start looking around. They know that a destroyer is out here with them. And that is going to screw with them immeasurably. So even though we're down 4-1, we have the opportunity to absolutely go off and wreck this team. All we got to do is not screw it up. And you guys know me. I'm all about the screwing it up. But again, sometimes you just got to be patient. It doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes you have to stalk your prey for a long time before you finally get that satisfying, devastating strike. Jean Bart, I'm talking to you. Wait for it. And how many on target, guys? 1, 2, 3, and down he goes. 4 hits, 3 floods, 1 kill, and not quite a devastating strike because he lost half his hit points just before those torpedoes hit. That's a shame. But that's 1 Jean Bart down, and I'm about to be loaded again. Now, obviously, I'm out here. The destroyers know I'm out here, so they're going to start coming out to hunt. And we have to keep that in mind, and we also got to make sure that we're not going to get detected. Notice the green circle on the map. That is incorrect. Our detection range is much shorter than that. Not a lot shorter, but it is shorter than that. Here, we're setting up our torp strike on the unsuspecting Vanguard, and we're trying to keep the Jean Bart away from us. This is where knowing your ship comes in handy. I know the detection of my ship is 5 kilometers. So, with that in mind, I can keep myself outside of 5 kilometers of these battleships and not have to worry about being detected, unless a destroyer decides to come looking. However, hello Vanguard. How you doing, buddy? You look like you're about to have a bad day. Oh, nice. Nice job. You avoided... Oh, never mind. You caught one. You did. You kind of did. It's a thing. But we're still losing. I mean, even though we've killed 3 of them now, we're still losing the match. Now, Jean Bart's gone, and this Vanguard... I'm not going to lie. This Vanguard knows me. I'm pretty sure, because I remember getting a message from him. I think. And he was kind of, you know, happy but not happy at the same time that we ran into each other. Now, you can see, I know that I caused flooding on him, so I'm trying to get him burning now that he used his damage control to kill him. And this is where the Vanguard has a unique ability. British battleships have that ridiculous heal at high tiers, and you can see I'm doing everything I can to dodge him. But because he's got a heal he's actually going to survive this fire, which is absolutely ridiculous, even though he had already burned his damage control. But it's a one-trick pony. He can't do it more than once. So while he's able to heal all of this light damage from burning, he's eventually going to run out of a heal, and he's going to run out of a damage control at some point. So all we got to do is bide our time. It's going to be a thing. We know he's going to take it, so we're going to go ahead, throw torpedoes everywhere, hoping to catch him off guard, and no matter which way he turns, hopefully we'll catch him. But we've got our smoke back, and it's about time to use it. We are down 3-5 now. They have killed everyone on our team. Oh, that was a good salvo from our teammate there. Good job, Battleship. I appreciate the help. And now, even though we are not using our smoke, we're going to go ahead and try to set a fire. Come on, Spartan. Can you get him? We might not even need a fire at this point. It looks like we might get him with a torp, but we get him with the guns first, and we avoid his fire, and we're behind an island. And all we got to do is slow down a little bit. Let's not go straight around the island, just turn. That's all I'm doing, is trying to prolong how long I'm behind the island. Now I don't have to worry about it, and we are back in the stocking business. Now remember, we now have 2 versus 4. It's me, and I want to say it's a Mogami, but it could be a Miyoko. I can't remember which. It's a Japanese cruiser. I don't know if it's tier 6 or tier 7. But between the two of us, we're going to do ridiculous here. Now, obviously, because we're low in manpower, I need to keep our points lead. So the first thing I'm going to do, instead of going after the battleships, going damage hunting, is getting into A and flipping A. That means no matter what, even if they do flip B, which he sailed out of B for some reason, and even if they had flipped B, we would maintain our lead because we would have 2 caps to 1. Now, the destroyer's going full bore. He's going after my cruiser, and I am not afraid for our cruiser at all. Our cruiser's in a good place to protect himself from the battleships. And because it's a Japanese cruiser, it has fantastic high explosive that is going to absolutely rip that destroyer apart. So if that destroyer thinks it's a good idea... Oh, and did I mention that he has really good torpedoes? And even one of those torpedoes will kill that destroyer? Yeah, it's definitely not something you want to just go sailing around the corner willy-nilly into, as he's about to demonstrate. Now notice the 2 battleships, the Jean Bart and the Alabama, are down there. And was it a Mogami? I think it's Mogami. Managed to kill the first guy around the corner. And now he's dealing with the destroyer, who's probably not long for this world. Meanwhile, we're over here capping the base, doing our job of making sure to ensure that we are going to win, regardless of the outcome of these fights. But that includes doing one more thing that most people have trouble doing. First of all, it's very hard to do in anything but a destroyer. It's very hard to disengage in anything but a destroyer. A destroyer, you have the ability to just ghost, and you'll never be detected if you don't want to be detected. However, you got to maintain your ability to attack the enemy without putting yourself at risk. And so that's what we're going to do. As you can see, I'm in position to attack the Alabama, and I am also completely safe while doing so. And that's going to be a load off of our team, and that Mogami is full health and just begging for this destroyer to come around and try him. And the destroyer, to his credit, he's like, I got this. Don't worry, battleships. I will get this guy. And the battleships are like, dear God, please don't screw it up. And the Mogami absolutely detonates the Benson. And we get 4 torpedo hits on the Alabama. Now, the Alabama, fantastic torpedo reduction, so he survives. And because we had given him a little bit of a lead on both, or we spread the torps out a little bit, he only took 4, didn't die. And that is actually going to cost my teammate his life. That being said, not before my teammate nukes the Jean Bart with all of the torpedoes. But then the Alabama comes around the corner, and the Mogami's got to be thinking to himself right now, what do I got to do? Come on, teammate, do something. Help me out here. And I am. He just doesn't know it. So if he's thinking to himself, oh my god, this guy's going to blow this match right now, and we've all been there. We've all been fighting our asses off, and then looked around and seemed like a teammate was doing absolutely nothing. Now here, I kind of make a mistake. I start firing. His guns are pointing the other direction. We got very little time left, so I shoot my guns at him to set the fire. He's not going to be able to damage Con because he just had the flooding a minute ago. And my torpedoes, even though he kills my destroyer, it's too late for this guy. I didn't miss. And that is the end of the game. So well done to the Mogami. Appreciate you, man. Hell of a game between the two of us. And even though the game started off rough, we still pull 116,000 damage, 3 kills. Mogami coming in top with 3 kills as well. Thank you very much. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, punch the like button for me. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.